And we're recording. All right. So I just want to present to you guys Bruce Seasall. He's my brother. This is his channel. So I figured I'd do maybe a response video to a video that I just started looking at, and it looked pretty good. So I figured I'd stop it and watch it with you guys, and we can comment a little bit on it. I'm going to share screen. All right. So is that a good one? No. Make me smaller. Here you go. So Bruce Seasall, you can go to his channel. He has a 96, well, almost 97,000 subscribers. This is him with his amazingly large telescope, and he does a lot of imaging on the moon. We kind of just look through. Speaks about also, I guess, government conspiracy, cover-ups. He focuses not only on the moon, on the sun. He has many images of these white orbs, a lot of activity on the moon that he's capturing. This is pretty cool here. He's able to show the sunspots pretty darn well. So he's quite able with his telescope. Pulls out amazing images, but he also pulls out these white orbs that are moving around everywhere, and this activity that seems to be occurring on the moon, which is very compelling. I have trouble denying it because there is stuff moving. All right. Without further ado, I shall shut up and we'll look at this a little bit. So go subscribe, as I said before, to Bruce Seasall. He does live chats multiple times a week at various hours. So please go subscribe. Let's get it on.
Next. Now, a lot of people make videos and have.
All right, let's check it out.
Bruce sees all.
Bruce.
We're witnessing a UFO invasion of the moon. It's maybe not necessarily that there are UFOs there, but we see them arriving to the moon. How scary.
Almost looks like an explosion, and then you can see the mushroom kind of appear. Boom, it explodes open. Very, very undeniable that that's something extremely interesting that he's capturing.
Can that be? Maybe the moon itself is being invaded by the lights that are invading Earth right now. They maybe started with the other planets.
Yeah, so I think that's maybe fast forwarded, but you can see all of those white orbs again. Super, super compelling, interesting.
And approached our planet, did the moon, and maybe we are next. Now, a lot of people make videos and have clickbait titles, and often it's just a story. But in my case, it's not a story. I'm showing you visual proof. Absolutely.
So what do you guys think so far of these images? I hope you don't mind, Bruce, me viewing this newest one of your newer videos. I'll try and do the older ones. I don't want to really have people watching it here and not going to watch your videos on your side. But I thought it would be cool to start reviewing. And when I fell on this video, it's short, 11 minutes, and it seems like you've compiled a lot of some of your more awesome and interesting images. So just wanted to share it.
Absolute proof that someone is up there on the moon. Are the lights leaving the moon? Did they construct these structures?
I mean, it is interesting. These are multiple square structures. I mean, it's pretty impressive. What is that? I mean, is it just humans that are building stuff there, and certain countries, and they're just not telling us these old structures that were abandoned? Are they functional? How do you guys explain this image? How square it is? It's super interesting.
Or are they attacking these structures? This is the east side of the moon seen here from Montreal. The moon turned sideways so we can see it straight up the way the UFOs are arriving to the surface. I'm actually going to show you the footage before I turned the image, which is quite spectacular seeing these objects arrive to the east side of the moon. But you might say, Bruce, if there was a war, we'd see objects, UFOs on fire, we'd see explosions, and I've filmed some. Now we have the image straight up the way it's supposed to be, and you can see the very edge of the moon as a UFO is arriving.
You guys write in the comments what you think this activity is. I'm always of the opinion, I'm holding the opinion that these are not extra galactic or intergalactic or extraterrestrial. I think these are interdimensional beings. That would be my guess. It seems like the majority of the time it's these orbs of light. We look at some of the disclosure that's occurred with the American military and Air Force, where their testimony is stating that they're performing maneuvers that defy the laws of physics, really. So it kind of shows that this, for me, really convinces me that this is more an interdimensional manifestation that is making some kind of a certain amount of appearance here. It seems like the shape, appears, disappears. There are sometimes that these structures might look solid, but the majority of the time it's just these light orbs, and it always makes me think of the use of stars as a symbolic representation of angels. They talk about moving stars being angels. So I'm expecting this whole fallen angel narrative. Jesus warned in the New Testament that when they said, when will the end of the age occur? And Jesus said, as in the days of Noah, so will it be at the coming of the Son of Man. And a lot of people, if they're not looking through the first book of Enoch and the fallen angels descending and bearing children, the Nephilim, this DNA, this angel human DNA, in the Bible, it says that this kind of stuff is going to be happening in the end times as we verge towards the end of the age and the long-awaited millennial kingdom of Christ. So that's my thought. Interdimensional. This is demonic. This is demonic activity, and we see the grays and the aliens and stuff like that. It looks pretty much demonic the way they're saying that people are being abducted. Again, the aliens seem to be obsessed with reproduction and genetics and stuff like that. So I think that as we verge closer and closer towards the end of the age, there'll be more and more spiritual manifestations. It's like at one point the spiritual world and the physical world approach each other. This happened historically during the time of Christ, and it happened during the Exodus, during those biblical times. And I think towards the end we will start seeing more and more spiritual manifestations going on, and that's for both sides. Just guessing. Like I said, please mark in the comments what you think about Bruce's footage here, what he's capturing. Sorry, I just want to make sure. Sorry. Sometimes I forget with this screen share, I don't share the audio, especially when I'm doing a recording, not live. I can't like check on my phone to make sure I'm not doing stupid stuff here.
I will be panning upwards at the same time without cutting the image because there's another one arriving, literally arriving to the moon, either from the dark side or straight up from space.
It's super cool. At the start, I was like, "Oh, this actually looks more like an explosion that's occurring," and then you see the reverberations kind of going up. But then Bruce just showed like this light here and then there, so it's very, very, very odd, unexplainable.
Russell Brand just posted a video right now interviewing Jeremy Corbell, which Jeremy Corbell, a film producer, goes into great detail in explaining how he actually works with the government and interacts. It's part of his job. Why? Sometimes I wonder if Jeremy Corbell really knows about the UFOs out there. Do any of these guys, gals that are in the field of ufology, do they have any idea of what the relationship of these UFOs, lights, phenomena are to the lights that we're seeing on the moon? I heard Jeremy Corbell write a couple of minutes ago, change the term to UAP.
Let's check out Jeremy Corbell. Corbell. Who is this guy? Jeremy Corbell. So he's on some 6,000 views. Oh well, he's been on Joe Rogan. Maybe something you guys want to follow up on. Check out what Jeremy Corbell is saying and doing.
Secrets, cover-ups, and strange phenomena. UFO.
This must be a site that's demonetized for sure. It's crazy how they're demonetizing Odin's Men. He's a funny response video guy, and same thing. He's demonetized. A lot of people are running to Rumble now. The platform on YouTube is really, really becoming restrictive. They're not even explaining it now at this point why they're demonetizing you. You got to stick to the narrative, I guess, guys.
Always been unidentified aerial phenomena, but now unidentified anomalous phenomena. Well, Jeremy, that was my first call when the UAP term came out. I've been calling them anomalous phenomena and not UFOs. But the big secret has always been to tell people they're UFOs, right? So Jeremy goes out and really freely declares on Russell Brand's video, it says, yep, everything you guys just saw in the sky is a diversion and they're all balloons. But nobody has seen the videos. Why would he have seen the videos?
Balloons.
Mysterious UFOs with mysterious gases coming from them emanate.
Yeah, I'm not buying the balloons for sure. He said Russell Brand. I like Russell. He's a quick speaker. Russell Brand. I'll probably check into this. Hey. Corbell. Bruce must be talking about this one from one day ago.
Stay free with Russell Brand. See you. of meaningful contact. Do you assume, as many experts in your field have over the last 50 years, that contact between non-terrestrial entities and deep state officials has been ongoing? I feel that in order to ensure that people appreciate,
they're not from here. Whoever built these appear to be a non-human intelligence. Now, where they're from, because the word extraterrestrial means just not from Earth, but also the word alien. You know, what is alien? Alien is anything that is alien to us.
Yeah, so we'll call them illegal aliens. It just means a foreigner, somebody that's not from here.
Right? So I know for certain that there have been limited comms or communications with whoever these builders, we'll just call them occupants or builders of these craft are. Now, are we being told the truth when we've had these comms with these builders or occupants, right? And that I have no idea. How could I possibly know? But I do know that we have reverse engineering exploitation programs for non-terrestrial technology, and I have brought
that have grown out of the scarcity.
Anyways,
briefings as George Knapp
strike going on and watching too much of this. Yeah, it's something maybe I should start looking into more. But I find that the narrative, the Christian narrative of what's going to happen, the spiritual battle in the end times, aliens can totally fit into that narrative. So I don't think that even an alien invasion, we would see it from Christianity as a great deception. You see the fallen angels, they created a lot of, they're like the truth from which many of these ancient myths come from when we're talking about Greek mythology and all of these hybrid animals that, you know, shows angel genetic manipulation. In the book of Enoch, it says that they didn't sin only against man; they sinned against you know, animals. And what do you mean they sinned against? And that is exactly what it means, is genetically manipulated. These angels were here during creation. They had a front seat view. So these angels are aware of the genetic code of creation, and that seems to be where these fallen angels, led by Satan, are going. They're trying to distort the image of man. We're made in the image of God. Man is made in the image of God, and male and female, he made them. So part of that image is the hardware, the genetic code. And by manipulating that, that is what caused the necessity for the flood, was angel shenanigans, causing genetic abominations and basically, you know, poisoning like a virus the gene pool of creation. So we're going to see this genetic technology appearing in the end times. And we saw just briefly what Jeremy was talking about, reverse engineering all this technology and stuff like that. And all of this genetic manipulation can quite possibly be angel technology, angel information. And it seems like the angels always gave humanity these hidden technologies that might appear good, but always end up being very destructive towards humanity. Kind of like the myth of the genie, where you know, every time you wish for something, it comes true, but in a way that's actually horrible, where you're begging the genie to reverse your first wish, kind of thing. Again, share your views of what you think we're seeing here on Bruce's video.
Chemical reactions or something in the atmosphere that we can see is happening. But here are the explosions with smoke. Right after the explosion on the surface of the moon, NASA says it's near impossible to catch an asteroid or meteor hitting the moon. You'd have to be, you know, quite intuitive to be able to find out when and where, which day, which hour, and an explosion. It's but a second of a flash, just under Mare Serenitatis and over top of the supposed.
What I find weird also is whenever you look into space, right? So you go to images, all of these satellites and stuff like that. I find it really kind of sketchy. Why is this all CGI'd? There's no like actual pictures of this. And if you look at Mars or even Pluto, these are all artists' renderings, which a lot of people point out that you literally here have the outline of Pluto the dog. But again, these are artists' renderings. These are CGI images. Anything in space. But the moon. I mean, there you'll have, you know, at least satellite images. But the blue marble, same thing. This, they admit that this is an artist's rendering. The blue marble Earth, this famous picture. This is, they wanted to claim that this was them out far in space taking a picture of this. Meanwhile, you have like Neil deGrasse Tyson explaining that it's actually not a perfect circle. It's actually, you know, more, it's wider on the edges. It's more like pear-shaped. Have you guys ever seen that? So look at this perfect blue marble that is admittedly a artist's rendering. And then after, this is just on the spur of the moment. Let's see if we can find Neil deGrasse Tyson telling us how it's not a perfect circle.
Now, the description says, Jordan Peterson says that he's not anti-feminist, but that there's a brand of radical feminism.
See, let's go up here.
This is Star Talk Explainer Edition. Neil deGrasse Tyson here.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, shape of Earth, I guess. It's bad. I should have tried to find this before. I think it's here. So I just want to make sure that I'm sharing the audio one more time. Probably am. Sorry about this, guys. Sure.
To the astrophysicist, we don't really care much about sea level.
No.
You want to be high, you're measuring your distance from the center of the Earth.
From the very center of the Earth.
Is that different from the center?
I'm trying to
Okay,
give it.
the very center of the Earth. So you want to find the farthest point from that center. And it turns out sea level at the equator is farther away from the center of the Earth than sea level near the poles. It has nothing to do with global warming and melting of the ice caps.
Why is that?
Because
Listen.
Earth, we know it spins once a day. Yes, thank you. 3 people know how long a day last year.
Good for row number 2. They're off to a great start.
So you spin. You know,
Get to the point so I don't get a strike here. Just explain to us how it's far from being a perfect circle so that I can prove that this blue marble and everything else in space, there's nothing captured What does that mean? You guys let me know. Why is everything in space CGI? Why don't we have any actual images?
When you spin pizza dough, it kind of flattens out.
Yeah.
Gets wider in the middle. And so Earth, throughout its life, even when it formed, it was spinning. And it got a little wider at the equator than it does at the poles. So it's not actually a sphere. It's oblate. And officially it's an oblate spheroid.
Getting attacked by my phone by some random caller. All right, so we just heard, right, that he just explained that. Do we have to listen to it again? No. For dramatic effect, make it a little slower.
Officially it's an oblate
Yeah.
spheroid. That's what we call it. But not only that, it's slightly wider below the equator than above the equator.
Oh.
A little chubbier.
Little chubbier.
Yeah.
Chubby's a good word. It's like pear-shaped.
Pear-shaped. So it's pear-shaped. Straight from the mouth of an astrophysicist. It's pear-shaped. Meanwhile, blue marble Earth. Everyone thought that this was the Earth. A perfect sphere. Perfect. Well, there's a problem here because either NASA is putting out artist renditions, or we got an actor / astrophysicist that doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. It's one or the other. Let us continue.
Apollo 11 landing, we see lights crossing over top of the surface, but one of them leaving the surface, and what looks like even that it is leaving from a
that's
tunnel.
Cool, man. That really did, like, it just like it came out of that hole. That's pretty cool. That's a good capture, Bruce.
On the surface of the moon. So now these are things that you've heard for many years, 20, 30, 40, 50 years.
Capture.
But where's the proof? We get people that are intuitive that say, hey, I remote view, I know that's on the moon, and people get millions of views for just talking about UFOs on the moon. But no one's interested in seeing the proof. If you've never seen a UFO leaving the moon, you just did. YouTube wants.
All right, guys, in the comment, timestamp 5 minutes 35. What are we looking at, guys? You think this, or do you think Bruce is a fraud? Do you think he's making this up? Because he's been accused of that too. What are your thoughts?
To fuck with my mind and not allow views or videos to get over 2,000-3,000 views, that's just fine.
Ooh,
I'll show all my new findings,
that.
and I'll show these
Good stuff.
again and again and again. They're not old. None of my research is old. Showing something secretive, top secret even, nothing to it. Government doesn't even mind. But if you have a theory that goes along with it and explains it, and that people around the world get an interest in the research, well, that's where it gets dangerous. Watch this. I've shown you this before, but now I'm going to explain to you that something shot down a UFO. Something from the surface will.
All right. Something shot down a UFO. This is a bold claim. All right. Bring it, Bruce. Bring it.
Shoot this UFO down. There it is. Something came up from the surface as it was going by, and then it crashed. And it crashed on the surface of the moon. Are you seeing this? Watch the object come up from the surface, shoots up from the surface while this UFO is approaching, boom, and then keep watching. I'm moving forward and backwards so you see that little arm come up,
Yes, it's
and
here.
then boom, the UFO
Oh.
crashes on
Okay.
to the
Darn. Let's bring it back a little bit. Okay, so I see what he's saying, that there's something here black that like kind of comes up and makes contact with a white orb, and then you see something happen here as if like they collided and the thing like kind of rests here after it crashes.
surface
There.
while this UFO is approaching,
One thing,
boom, and then
something happens.
keep watching. I'm moving forward and backwards so you see that little arm come up, and then boom, the UFO crashes
Yeah, okay.
on to the
Man, you gotta have a
freaking
good eye for
surface.
this.
You have large
Oh,
pieces
there's
of debris
there's a
smacking down and crashing into the moon, UFO lights that are arriving to the moon. There are UFO lights leaving the moon, what looks like they're coming out from the inside of the moon. And this with the infrared camera.
That's cool. Like, could this, Bruce, could this be just an asteroid that you captured?
Often I see objects catching on fire in the atmosphere around Earth, like right here around Earth.
So could that be an asteroid?
So what can these lights be on the surface? They are definitely interacting with the surface. Again, right over Mare Serenitatis, just on the bottom part here, as these lights in military formation are flying across the moon. So one light doesn't scare too many people, but when I show you many lights simultaneously leaving the surface.
That is a lot of activity going on there, guys.
And that every frame that I advance here, bring your eyes all over the frame here, and you can see lights in the bottom. They're preparing to lift off again. The UFOs are hiding on the surface of the moon. So are they in a war with alien beings, or do we have the secret technology to go to the moon with UFOs, and that if there's an intelligent being there, that we would take it over? Here's a spacecraft freaking catching on fire in the atmosphere of the moon. Whether you say there's a war or not up there, they're still catching on fire, the UFOs. We see smaller objects, UFOs, going by underneath. Scout crafts, motherships, you name it. Everything we've seen in the movies is actually going on for real on
Just gonna go a little
two
bit
different
more.
divisions of.
All right, so this is, I don't know if this with just a camera lens. He captures a lot of stuff like this. He lives out in the boonies. It's very, very dark. There's not many houses and buildings, so it gets nice and dark, and you can really see the sky.
3 UFOs taking off, going in different directions. You can see them lifting up in the sky, one going left, one going right. That's not all. I'm going to show you 3 more that take off that get even bigger. They're going all over the sky.
Wow.
You see how they're going left? That big one there is going left. Then I'm going to show you one. Get ready. It's going to go towards the right and get bigger. Here's with a little effect to wake people up.
Okay, so what do you guys think this is? With the scary siren music, did he add that? Because now it really looks like War of the Worlds or invasion, alien invasion. You got like the air sirens.
Anyone trying to replicate this, which I've already noticed that they're planes and they're flashing, or they're helicopters. These are not helicopters.
It's true, all aerial ones flash.
Rising up off the surface without any flashing lights and changing in different size and intensity.
Square structures. Yeah, so that's a really, really good video, Bruce, with a lot of footage, a lot of impressive footage. And I want to know what the viewers think. Sorry for using your video, Bruce, but my many subscribers will bless you. I will send them all over there. even though the majority of my subscribers come from Bruce, but we won't tell anybody about that. All right. See ya. God bless. Peace.